I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm late. Call a freaking lawyer. Anyway, welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We got some news today. Inkwell, Intel, I don't want to say the other word because I get demonetized, reports their second quarter earnings today. United Health stock is embroiled in some fraud controversy. And apparently a lot of big banks are getting behind tokenized money market funds, something I didn't know I needed. So we're going to talk about each one of these today. Buckle up and let's have a good time. So first we got Intel, our favorite stunk, reporting their second quarter of 2025 financial results. We're sharing. Yes, we are. So let's look at the stock price because that's all that matters. Let's see what all Intel did today. So Intel was down 3.66% on the day, and it's down 4.82% in the after hours. The year-to-date return, or the one-year return of I keep saying the bad word almost. Intel is negative 31%. Year-to-date, it's up 12%, though. And then the 5-year return for Intel is negative 62%, not including dividends. Brutal brutality. So what's going on with Intel? Now, as a disclosure, yes, I put $500 into Intel a couple of years ago, and then they had disastrous earnings, and I instantly sold. Okay, I made a very emotional gut decision, and I'm glad I did because I'd probably have about $200 now if I'd held the stock. So yes, I'm a fraud and a clown. So let's see what all this. See, and this is a chip company. We're in the age of AI, my hot guy. They make chips. And they're collapsing. NVIDIA's up 1 trillion%. AMD's not as good as NVIDIA, but better. And then you got Intel, another chip maker, getting absolutely clapped during the age of AI. Very sad. Second quarter revenue was $12.9 billion, flat year over year, like your mom. Second quarter earnings, loss per share, attributable to Intel was negative 67 cents per share. In the age of AI and chips, everybody's getting chips, bro. They had a loss of 67 cents. But they had non-GAAP, which is nonsense. GAAP is generally accepted accounting principles. Non-GAAP is made-up BS nonsense. Attributable to Intel was negative 0.1 cent. You see how you notice how the non-GAAP EPS is always better than the GAAP EPS? Yeah, it's because they're trying to make themselves look better. It's kind of like Meet Kevin's EBITDA for his house hack. Same concept. On the accrual basis of accounting, under the rules of GAAP, the house hack's unprofitable, massively unprofitable. Under the rules of I add back whatever expenses I want, it's profitable. All right, a 45-cent impact to GAAP due to $1.9 billion of restructuring charges. Brutal. So even if they weren't restructuring, they still would have had a loss. Let's see. 23-cent impact to GAAP, respectively, from $800 million of impairment charges and $200 million in one-time period costs. Impairment charges are charges against usually capital assets. Some kind of asset on your balance sheet where you purchase something and you think it has a certain amount of economic benefit in the future. And then you realize you made a crappy investment and you have to write down the value of that asset on your balance sheet. Because let's say you buy, let's say you buy a trademark and you think the trademark's going to print you attendees for the next 10 years. And then come to find out your trademark's worthless because you bought something stupid. I don't know. I can't even think of an example. And you have to write it down because you spent all this money on something. You put it on your balance sheet, but now it's not really going to make you any money. So it's worthless. Okay. So they're taking huge charges, which are non-cash charges. Okay. And impairment is generally a non-cash expense, basically. And then restructuring charges, that could be a combination of cash and non-cash expenses. This is the accrual basis of accounting. I know it's a difficult concept. Forecasting third quarter 2025 revenue of $12.6 billion to $13.6 billion. Expecting third quarter EPS to be 24 cents, negative 24 cents. So they're projecting a loss next quarter. But non-GAAP EPS of 0. So if they add back a bunch of expenses that are real, they'll break even. I love finance. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Taking actions to drive improved execution and efficiency. Continue to target $17 billion of non-GAAP operating expenses in 2025. Oh, I like how they have expense targets. $18 billion in gross capital expenditures for 2025. Man, they're dumping some money into buying capital assets. Okay, so Intel has a new CEO. What was the last guy's name? Gesslinger? That guy looks like a total soy boy. Like, he looks like a cow. He looks very soft. Okay. He's definitely a bottom. Here's the new CEO. Our operating performance demonstrates the initial progress we are making to improve our execution and drive efficiency. We are laser focused on strengthening our core product portfolio and our AI roadmap. What's your AI roadmap? Yeah, you're definitely crushing the AI space to better serve customers. We're also taking the actions needed to build a more financially disciplined foundry. It's going to take time. Just trust me, bruh. But we see clear opportunities to enhance our competitive position, improve our profitability, and create long-term shareholder value. Didn't they cancel their dividend? Now, remember back in the day, everybody liked Intel because it had a dividend. A dividend. Yeah, the dividend's gone. Okay. Let's look at some of their prior profitability metrics just to show you how bad it's been. So revenue has just been trending down. This is a chip company during the age of AI. Their revenue's going down. Let's see their gross profit. This is their profit basically on their chips and other services. Down. Profits eroding. Operating margin, they basically had operating losses for the past year. Profit margin, huge losses. Free cash flow margin, the last time they had positive free cash flow was, what is that, third quarter 2022? So it's been almost 3 years. Let's go look at their dividend. See what happened to their dividend. I think it's on here. Somewhere. Oh, here it is. The dividend history. Yeah, their last dividend was 12.5 cents on August 7th, 2024. That was the ex-dividend date. And they paid on September 1st. So if you had bought before that, looking at the dividend yield, you would have got no dividends in the future. Because a dividend yield is a trailing metric. Look at these. Look at these dividends. Dividend. Gotta love dividends. And it's funny, their earnings have gone down and their earnings suck, and suddenly their dividend went away. Yeah, it's almost like the earnings are all that matters. Intel was recently suspended. They misspelled suspended on this website. I don't trust this anymore. Subsended its dividend payments. So its dividend yield will be 0% moving forward. Okay, and I love how they give expense targets. How about profit targets? Okay, let's see. Intel also recognized approximately $800 million of non-cash impairment and accelerated depreciation charges related to excess tools with no identified reuse. So they have a bunch of junk that they're not going to use. They're getting rid of. And approximately $200 million of one-time period costs. Did they have a bunch of women employed there? No, I'm just kidding. In the second quarter of 2025. Okay. God, look at that operating margin. Negative 24.7%. Brutal. Brutality. Annihilation. Devastation. Clapped. Ooh. Let's see. R&D. They're not even spending as much in R&D. Like R&D, they spent what? 4.8 billion in this quarter. Last year, they spent 5.6. What do you think R&D would be going up during the age of AI? All right. Let's look at their specific businesses. So their client computing group is down 3% for revenue. Data center is up 4%. Wow. Intel Foundry up 3% in revenue. All other up 20%. And then inter-segment eliminations. I guess they're selling to themselves. Interesting. Okay, so they talk about some of their new CPUs they're offering. Okay, I don't know anything about those, I'll be perfectly honest. The first Panther Lake processor SKU remains on track to begin shipping later this year, with additional SKUs coming in the first half of 2026. Okay. Okay, they got a new chief revenue officer, and they changed some engineers. Let's look at their balance sheet. Is there a balance sheet on here? Okay, that's their income statement. Let's look at their income statement. Okay, so obviously their revenue is flat. Their cost of sales has increased. So they have flat revenue, but the cost of the items they're selling has gone up. R&D is down almost $1 billion. They cut some marketing expenses, but they had way more restructuring costs. They had some gains on equity investments. So some companies that they have investments in actually turned a profit, and that actually helped their earnings, their bottom line EPS. Let's see. Okay. And they've been issuing shares. So last year they had 4.2 billion shares outstanding. I think that's billions. And now they have 4.3 billion. So they're diluting. Remember, before they were paying a dividend, they were buying back shares. They had decent margins. This company has collapsed. It's shocking. It's breathtaking. Head count. Wow, they've been firing people. So they had 116,000 employees on June 29th, 2024. And now it's all the way down to 96,000. So they fired about 20% of their employees. And they had NAND, employees of the NAND memory business, which we divested to SK Hynix. Okay, they had a divestiture. Interesting. All right, here's their balance sheet. So they got $9.6 billion in cash, $11.5 billion in short-term investments. They got about $20 billion in cash, and $2.3 billion of accounts receivable. So that they still have a pretty solid cash position, cash equivalents position. Let's see. What do they have short term? So their current liabilities are $34 billion. That's not good. What do they have here? They have about $3 billion of short-term debt coming due that they're going to have to refinance. Yeah, that's not very good liquidity. Okay, they got about $22 billion of cash and $35 billion of short-term debts. Uh-oh. Not very good. Here's their statement of cash flows. See if there's anything that stands out. Depreciation has gone up pretty significantly, almost $800 million over the course of a year. Let's see. Try to see if anything stands out here. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Okay. So overall, this company is not doing very well, okay? And I don't see, I'm not going to say it's going to go bankrupt. It's probably one of those companies that's like essential to the United States because they have fabs and they make chips and it's American. So I'm not sure the government would let them go under, but they're not doing too hot, especially in the age of AI. So that's all Inkwell for you. Now let's move on to United Health. So Luigi Mangina has been very successful here. United Health stock sinks 4.7% after company confirms DOJ investigation into Medicare billing practices. Just grift the government, bro. They'll get a slap on the wrist. You want to know why? Because everybody grifts the government. Everything's a grift. United Health stock fell 4.7% on Thursday. Let's see. Is this true? Are they lying to us? It did? How much has this stock fallen? Mangina got his wish. It's down 50% in a year. Brutal. Down 8% in the past 5 years. But as long as you pull up the chart far enough, you can justify anything. So, according to a lot of your logic, you should buy it because it's up 93,000% over its entire lifetime, at least on this chart. But yeah, this stock has been cut in half, basically, or more. Yeah, roughly in half. More than half. Woo! That is some brutality right there. All right. So it fell after the insurance giant disclosed in a regulatory filing that is facing an investigation from the DOJ into its Medicare billing practices. Following news reports from the Wall Street Journal about insurance billing techniques used by United Health, the Justice Department's healthcare fraud unit began making criminal and civil requests of the company. We commit fraud for corporate profits, bro. Corporate profits. Oh, look at American Airlines. Holy smokers. Sorry, I got sidetracked. The company has full confidence in its practices and is committed to working cooperatively with the department through this process. Yeah, they committed freaking fraud. The insurer has also said it has proactively launched its own initiative to conduct third-party reviews of policies, practices, and associated processes, and performance metrics for risk assessment coding, managed care, and pharmacy services. The Wall Street Journal reporting, first published in December 2024, documented several ways in which United and other major insurers have received billions of dollars in extra payments from the federal Medicare Advantage system. They're grifting the government. Everybody, it's one giant scam. The government is one giant scam, and they're too stupid to catch this because they're run by a bunch of dopes and morons. I know. I used to work for the government. Government! Which allows approved private companies to provide health benefits in lieu of federally mandated Medicare system. Okay. I hope they fine the crap out of this company. They are grifting. They're grifting you. We pay taxes. It comes out of your freaking paycheck. Yeah, you're paying into this, and United Healthcare is grifting you. Grifting you. These include companies taking on extra and sometimes incorrect diagnoses to patient profiles when those rulings have not been made by doctors actually treating the patients. Chris came in for his annual checkup, and he also has schizophrenia, the HIV, ADHD, every freaking thing Chris has. And I just showed up for my regular checkup. I'm like, oh, you've got a clean bill of health. And then they go like, oh yeah, we got to add some other illnesses so we can bill them. Well, I mean, it's for old people, but you get my example. What a freaking scam. Everything is a grift. Allowing the insurers access to extra payouts from Medicare. Maybe they should increase audits. The health insurance giant has been facing a probe. They've been getting probed from the Justice Department into possible Medicare fraud. Well, United Health has been embroiled in a series of leadership controversies and financial setbacks over the last year, with its stock falling about 50%, more than 50% from the highs. In May 2024, the company and several senior executives were sued by a Hollywood-based pension fund for insider trading. Oh, insider trading. They don't do that. No. Everything's perfectly legitimate in the stock market. This is why you buy index funds. Alleged executives sold more than $100 million in stock after the company found out it was facing an antitrust probe.
Bro, we're selling the stock to willing buyers, okay, on the open market.
That's a movie reference. Forgot the name of the movie, though.
We're selling to willing buyers. We have insider information that the system is going to collapse, bro. Sell everything, bro. I'm a financial advisor. I deal in finance, bro. Accounting was too hard, bro.
I hate finance people. They're scum. They are scum of the earth.
Finance, bro. Stocks.
They just buy large cap tech.
I'm a genius, bro. Here's my 1% management ratio, bro.
Losers. Get a real job.
Large cap tech, chip stocks, bro.
7 months later, Thompson was deleted by Mangina. Reactions across the country. Oh, wait, was he one? Oh. Okay, so the CEO that got shellacked by Mangina, apparently he did some insider trading. I mean, I would be tempted to, everybody would be tempted to do it. But, it's wrong. You should not do that. Reactions across the country centered on anger around United Healthcare over its treatment of people on its insurance, including denial of claims. The older I get, the more I'm actually starting to side with some socialist stuff. I really am, because I've seen the grift. I have seen the grift that is America, and it's truly frightening how grifty it is. This company's scamming Medicare.
We got to increase our profits, bro. We got to get extra revenue, and then we're going to deny claims, bro. Corporate profits, EPS, Uber alles.
Welcome to America. When the company reported earnings a month later, the results showed revenue missed analyst estimates, and the insurer's medical care ratio, which measures how much of the collected premiums are spent by the insurer on Medicare, spiked. The stock dropped 5%. Oh my God, what a catastrophe. Okay. So, let's see. The next month, United Healthcare CEO Andrew Whitty abruptly stepped down while the company pulled its annual forecast. Whitty titty. Okay, so then they got a new CEO and they gave him a $1 million salary and $60 million in stock options. That's actually fair. That's actually fair because now he's actually motivated to fix this garbage because the stock's been collapsing. So if he gets the stock back up, he's going to make a lot of money.
Bro, just deny more claims, bro. Corporate profits.
The same month, the company suspended its annual forecast entirely, sending chairs. This company's just getting clapped. I mean, I don't think this company's ever going to go under. This is a big mother effing company, but when's the bottom going to be? I have no idea.
Buy the dip, bro. Buy the dip.
All right, so that's United. United got clapped. It's just getting constantly clapped. Mangina got his wish. And then last but not least, we have digitized money market funds. See, I have money in a money market in Vanguard. It's called VUSXX. If I want to access that money market, I can place a sell order, and it takes a day or two or maybe 3 to get back to my bank account. Okay, that's how I can access my money. Apparently, tokenized money market funds will allow like instant transactions, which can be good if you want your money quickly, but it also seems like it could accelerate like financial collapses because crypto can make stuff instantaneous, like boom. And if there's like a route in stocks or money markets, you could see like a massive implosion super fast. So I think this could result in like maybe flash crashes. I don't know. Let's read. So apparently we're doing tokenized mutual money market funds. Everything's tokenized now. What happened to the good old days when you could just buy a regular mutual fund in Vanguard? This is something I didn't know I needed. Goldman Sachs, big hairy Sachs, and Bank of New York Mellon. Sachs and Mellons. Potty humor. Have created the ability for institutional investors to purchase tokenized money market funds. Oh, man. Or, I couldn't buy SGov. I have to get a crypto money market fund. Clients of Bank of New York Mellons will be able to invest in money market funds whose ownership will be recorded on Goldman's blockchain platform. The project has already signed up fund titans, grifters, such as BlackRock, Fidelity, and Federated Hermes, sounds like an STD, as well as the asset management arms of asset management of Goldman and BNY. All right, so let's see if we can get some details. Like, what does this even do? The Wall Street giants believe that tokenizing the $7.1 trillion money market industry is the next step forward for digital assets. We're putting crypto in our entire economy. Like, that's a little scary to me. We're like intermingling crypto in everything. After President Trump last week signed a law marking the arrival of U.S. regulated stablecoins. So stablecoin, basically, you get like a crypto coin, and it's supposedly backed by treasuries. But is it really? Do we know? I don't trust stablecoins. I don't think they're 100% backed. I bet you there's a bunch of fraud in the stablecoin community. I'm going to launch my stablecoin. Buy my stablecoins, bro. Trust me, they're backed. I swear. run off, go to Thailand. The Genius Act is expected to boost the popularity and use of stablecoins. Why would I buy a stablecoin? I don't need a stablecoin. I have VT for my investments. I have a money market fund for emergencies. And then I have my checking account and my credit card to spend money, liquidity. Why do I need a stablecoin? I don't understand.
You don't get it, bro? You don't understand, bro? You need to open your mind to crypto, to the religion of crypto.
Which are typically pegged to the US dollar. But unlike stablecoins, tokenized money market funds pay owners a yield. A yield! Oh, just like my treasuries do in my money market fund. Making it an attractive place for hedge funds, pensions, and corporations to... Oh my God. No. I bet you the next crisis is going to be all these different institutions owning tokenized money market, like stable coins. And I bet you a lot of those coins may not necessarily be backed by anything. That could end very badly.
Trust us, bro. They're definitely backed, bro. This is America, bro. We don't grift in America.
We have created the ability for our clients to invest in tokenized money. There's no reason to do this. If you want a money market, buy SGov or just put it in any money market in any broker. I pay 0.07% for VUSXX, which is a federal treasury money market fund. Well, I don't need this. You don't either. Because tokenizing, it adds an extra layer of risk. It's just more nonsense. The step of tokenizing is important because today that will enable seamless and efficient transactions without the frictions that happen in traditional markets. Okay, so you're going to increase the risk of fraud to make transactions slightly faster. That's basically what it is. You know how you set up, okay, let's say you're living out of your money market fund, right? You set up an auto sale every 2 weeks and you deposit it into your bank like a paycheck. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up my money market. I'm going to set let's say I'm retired, right? And I have $200,000, for example, in a money market, and I need $3,000 a month. I'm going to set auto sale first of every month, send $3,000 to my bank, and it's just going to send $3,000 to my bank. What do I need the token for? Money market funds are mutual funds that are typically invested in safer short-term securities, including treasuries, repo agreements, or commercial paper. They are generally considered the most cash-like of investments that still offer yield. I'm a fan. I'm in treasuries. I'm in treasuries. Traditional money market funds can be liquidated within a day or two, though redeeming shares only happens during market hours. Oh, man. You have to wait a day or two.
I want it now. I want it now.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this could lead to like flash crashes because everything's like so tokenized. Like, imagine you have a 24-hour market where stuff can happen instantaneously. Like, that's got to lead to very rapid crashes when they're in times of panic. Okay. Institutional retail investors have rushed into the asset class in recent years, pouring roughly $2.5 trillion into them since the Federal Reserve began rating. Yeah, I mean, they're better than checking accounts. I'd rather put my money in treasuries. In treasuries, you don't pay state tax. You know that? You just pay federal tax on the income. So they're actually more tax efficient than a regular checking account or a savings account or a money market or a CD, something like that. That's where all my savings are. My savings are in treasuries, backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. I'm about to get $150 this month. Ooh, and interest. My dividends. They're printing tendies. A better future. By creating digital certificates of ownership for money market funds that reside on the blockchain, Goldman and BNY's move should allow for faster settlement, round-the-clock trading, just what we need, and automation. To ease the transition, BNY will also keep traditional money market records on top of tokens of the same assets. The banks view the tokenized funds as setting the foundation for a future in which the assets are traded in a more efficient manner, always on a digital ecosystem. Investors and corporations could lean on stable coins for global payments and tokenized money market funds for cash management. I don't trust stable coins. That just because it says it's backed doesn't mean it's backed. And trust me, crypto has been grifty before. But tokenizing the asset class gives the funds new capabilities beyond speed and ease of use. The digitized funds could eventually be transferable between financial intermediaries without having to first liquidate funds into cash. Okay, so it makes it a little bit more efficient, but like I said, the risk of like fraud is up. That could bolster the use of tokenized money market funds by the world's largest financial players as collateral for a multitude of trade. Oh yeah, let's have tokenized clown funds as collateral. Doing so would free up time and capital that is today consumed by traditional transactions. Instead of investors and corporations selling money market funds to deliver cash collateral for a trade, they could just exchange the token, for instance. Okay, so that's all it freaking is. It's like speed, speed, speed. Wow, not worth the freaking risk. All right, why is this thing popping up? Hold on. There we go. That's annoying. Okay, let's do some freaking comments. Woo! Bro, hurry up. I need to go for a hike. Go hike, boy. Alan, Strongman is a busy man. He's probably talking to the Intel CEO. Oh, yes, sir. How are you doing today? I'm going to be reviewing your stock's earnings. Okay, look, I'm only answering member comments. So you want an answer, you freaking pay me, you brokies. Yet you are watching him. So somebody's complaining about
Strongman's late. I don't pay a dime to watch him. It's free, but he's late.
Let's see. At least he's not pumping single penny stocks. Not yet. He definitely ended like Kid Freshie. Andrew's in the house. Have you bought Dave? What's this Dave thing? I keep hearing about it. I'm on a break at work. A man's got a living to make. Got to give my money to Big Daddy. Why are you at work? You could have just bought Bitcoin, bro. Why are you at a traditional job? Are you a loser? What's wrong with you? No, we don't do jobs anymore. We do crypto trading. Get it through your skull, okay? AI ETFs are, yeah, hedge your portfolio with AI ETFs. I'm at work right now, too, so I can fund the lifestyle of the dog. That's right, boy. You better work hard to give me money. Oh, we got a super chat. Get some chips and salsa with your burrito. You know what? In honor of this super chat, I may consider getting chips and salsa with my burrito. But then that's like more calories. It's not healthy, okay? Just having the burrito by itself, that's the ideal. You know, I don't have any soda. I literally just have the burrito. That's how you save money at Chipotle. You don't get a soda, you get a water cup, and then you don't get any guac, no guac, and you don't get any chips or salsa. And you actually save money. The burrito is $10.16, and it's freaking huge. Reminds me of something. Margin Call, that was the movie.
We're selling to willing buyers. I'm a finance scammer clown, bro.
Meanwhile, serious investors debate if the 60% yield ETF is safer fundamentally than the 84%. This is the market that we're in, dude. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's like the biggest dummies. The biggest dummies are like not imploding their portfolios. If that ain't clown market, I don't know what is. But yeah, if you absolutely have to have AI stocks, just get an AI ETF or invest in a fund that invests in AI. Or you could buy VT. How about that? Ives, or is Ives the Dan Ives? Is that a Dan Ives ETF? All right, pay pigs. Got to get back to making money. I'll watch the rest. That's right, boy. Get back to work. Daddy's hungry. Stablecoin backed by you.
Bro, we got securities, bro. We got comments. We got equity backing it, bro. We got Tattoo Chef. It's secured by Tattoo Chef, bro.
Each stablecoin is backed by... Okay, I would trust that stablecoin. Yeah, VT. VT backed stable coins. Member from one. Say my name. Lazy African dude. I can't say it. I mean, I'll say it, but not on a live stream because I'll be a big bad boy. You can't say that, or you're a bad little boy, and the corporation will send you to HR for some training because you read a word. No, I will not, boy. Burrito bowl. No. Look, here's why the burrito is superior. Because you get more calories. You get the wrap. Okay? I need calories. I'm a big, strong boy. I lifted weights today. I went to the gym. I lifted. And I'm freaking hungry. I need food to build these huge freaking muscles. And the tortilla is more calories. I mean, the bowl, obviously, it's not bad for you, but I'm a burrito man. When reaction to Elon mumbling during earnings call? Should I don't know if I have time, but maybe I could do like a whole reaction to the earnings call. But God, that an hour of listening to Clown-a-Wan lying piece of garbage scum rat. Tesla, verticalized, we're going to go into the moon, we're going to Mars. I can't do it. He's so full of crap. That's why he's the richest man in the world. The richest man in the world is the biggest grifting, lying piece of garbage. If that doesn't tell you what's wrong with our society, nothing will. Oh, here we go. Amit. What did Amit say today? My hero.
He's got more subscribers than you. He's got longer hair than you.
Amit said yesterday that day trading is a realistic job. Oh. I don't even know what to say. Day trading on Robinhood is day trading a job should not belong in the same book. Not the same sentence, not the same paragraph, not the same chapter. It shouldn't even be in the same book. It shouldn't even be in the same language. No, you cannot day trade instead of a job. Stop. If you seriously are considering that, you are a freaking loser. I'm sorry. Society functions because people have skills. They do stuff. Why do you think there's a road? Because an engineer planned it and a bunch of dudes went out and paved it and built the road. Why do you think there's electricity? Because people maintain the electric grid. Why do you think your big fat American mouths are full of food? Because somebody grows it. That is real labor, goods, and services. And people get compensated for that. You know what isn't real? Trading trash. Trading against hedge funds. That's not a real job. And if you really think that's legitimate, there's something wrong with you. You're mentally ill. Your brains are cooked by frauds. Amit said today that day trading is a realistic job while bragging about how much money his buddy made. Oh, yeah, I'm sure his buddy made so much money. I'm sure. You know why he made money? Because he said he did.
Bro, I took this huge leveraged bet on an earnings call, bro, and I made so much money. Trust me, bro.
No verification, just spurting nonsense out of their mouth. And you low IQ morons listen, and you believe it. He said it, so it's true. Because they're totally not only shilling their wins. Made today with Intel, 100. Dude. Oh my God. I just don't know what to say. Couldn't believe it. He's a fraud. He's a stupid kid that knows how to be a blabbermouth. And he covers stuff that he doesn't understand. He's clueless. He's a moron. But he's your hero. He's everybody's freaking hero now. He said you need good TA. Bro, pull up Robinhood, draw some lines, buy the teacup handle formation, and you're going to get rich. It's that easy, bro. Look at the chart. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're cooked. Dex Invictus. I made half a Billy today. Oh, me too. I made a full Billy. Brokey. All right, I think that's the news today. That was a fun stream. I actually enjoy this. I could definitely do market opens and market closes every day and be a grifter like everybody else. But I add in a lot of humor and high IQs. Okay. Let's see. Anyway, like, subscribe. Consider signing up for my services. It's all in the pinned comment below. I do consulting. I do sponsored videos. I have a book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. I am a certified public accountant. I will do your taxes and or bookkeeping, business and or personal, any state in the United States. I do a lot of stuff. I'm a licensed CPA. Give me your money and have a wonderful, delicious day.